Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. So the question of today, and really a question that continues to perplex me, as well as all of you I know, is just what is happening over Arizona. Now, what am I talking about? Well, it would seem that Arizona and all of the surrounding states are a hotbed, a haven for UFO activity, strange things happening up in the skies. Now, this all started back with the Phoenix Lights in 1997, which you are seeing video of here. Now, for those of you new to this topic, or maybe weren't around back in 1997, here's the skinny on the Phoenix Lights. So the Phoenix Lights, sometimes called the Lights over Phoenix, were a series of widely sighted, unidentified flying objects observed in the skies over the U.S. states of Arizona, Nevada, as well as the Mexican state of Sonora on March 13th, 1997. Where lights of varying descriptions were seen by thousands of people between 7:30 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. in a space of about 300 miles from the Nevada line through Phoenix to the edge of Tucson. Now, there were two distinct events involved in that incident. A triangular formation of lights that was seen passing over the state, and a series of stationary lights seen in the Phoenix area. Now, allegedly, the United States Air Force identified the second group of lights as flares dropped by an A-10 Warthog aircraft. They were doing training exercises in the area. However, the governor later admitted that he attempted to contact and request information from the commander of the local Luke Air Force Base, the general of the National Guard, and the head of the Department of Public Safety, but none of the officials he contacted had an answer for what had happened. Whereas, when this first happened, the governor actually ridiculed the sighting. He later admitted to reporters that the Air Force explanation that these lights were just flares being dropped, which then apparently sat in the sky, static in the same place for hours, was just not a possibility. And by the way, this is Governor Fife Symington. He later said, and I quote, "As a pilot and a former Air Force officer, I can definitely say that this craft did not resemble any man-made object I'd ever seen, and it was certainly not high-altitude flares because flares don't fly in formation." Going on to further admit that when he contacted the military asking what these lights were, the response was no comment. So we have this Phoenix Lights incident, still a topic of heavy debate today. Witnesses who saw this claim to have observed a huge square or rectangular or V-shaped or triangular. You have many different versions, but they all said that from what they could see, this was a huge ship that blocked out the stars as it hovered and as it moved across the state, and that these lights that they were seeing in the sky were just a part of this one massive dark ship. But the mystery of lights over Phoenix didn't stop there. Over the years, we've posted numerous videos showing what looked to be almost identical formations of lights over Phoenix, but before we get to those clips, here is something that just happened over Phoenix last week.
Well, last night, I don't know, maybe you saw some of this in the sky?
It's a little hard to see it right there, but it's weird.
Line,
it looked weird.
It was hovering over the Phoenix area last night.
So whenever that happens, you know what the reaction is. A lot of people are talking about it today, and it was a reminder of the infamous Phoenix Lights 25 years ago. Fox 10's Brian Webb's been looking into this. He joins us live with the latest. Cue the X-Files music.
Well, something was up there. We have video of that, but here we go again for sure. So the first explanation came from the National Weather Service. They seem to chalk it up to Starlink satellites launched by SpaceX. But a lot of people who saw those same lights aren't quite so sure. They're back, a long, strange string of lights visiting the valley in the night sky. Residents rushing to get shots on their cell phones, then left scratching their heads.
They were just moving, like fast. There was no blinking lights or anything like that.
Jesse Farmer shot video of it over South Phoenix during the early morning hours. Dozens of lights dotting the dark sky, but his buddies didn't believe him.
He laughed about it and was like, maybe you need to go to sleep. I was like, bro, trust me. I said, I caught video of it.
This family saw them too, right about 9:30 from their home in Surprise.
And I saw something like with a big parade, like in the sky, like there was a bunch of no things was tiny, and called light bulbs.
60 lights or more heading horizontally in a perfect line, perfectly spaced, and perfectly silent, leaving this family perfectly perplexed.
It was pretty wild. I mean, I don't know if you saw the footage or heard the audio. I was pretty stunned.
As for reports of it being a group of satellites, these witnesses say no way in the world.
Satellites being launched.
That's what they're saying.
But that's what they're
I
saying.
don't know. This is pretty strange.
It was unbelievable. Like, you couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no way that this is man-made.
Okay, I emailed the people at SpaceX today to try to get some explanation or comment, but did not hear back. Live in Phoenix, I'm Brian Webb, Fox 10 News.
All right, so that video, pretty self-explanatory. We have formations of lights moving horizontally in the sky, in formation, and yet are, by the media, passed off as simple satellites, strange weather phenomena, etc. You know the deal. So I wonder what they would say to this next video I'm about to show you that happened back around 2015, 2016, where an almost, if not identical, formation of lights was captured yet again above Phoenix, and here's a clip from that video.
Dude, what the fuck? I'm sorry, bro. What the fuck up, dude?
Alright, so here we have a scary similar set of lights to what was captured above Phoenix, Arizona over 20 years ago. They're sitting in the sky, they're not moving, they're in the same sort of curved or V shape as we saw in the grainy images of the 1997 footage. And the dudes who recorded this were perplexed. You know, I think we as humans, we have a sixth sense about things we see in the sky where you just know it's nothing natural. It's not a flare. It's not some light that's tied to a weather balloon released by some civilian somewhere. And when you see these same types of sightings over the same area over 20 years, the answer becomes clear. Now, before we end this video, I want to show you another clip that proves that these lights aren't just happening over the western states. This is an amazing clip, again, 4 or 5 years old, before commercially sold drones were available and things like that. I mean, they were much more rare. There were no drone operators in the vicinity of this, but another formation of lights in what some believe to be a craft that was cloaked were caught above Lake Michigan, sitting again static in the sky, but would at times move. You would see a light change formation with onlookers standing by, totally stunned. And here are some different filters of that footage. So again, guys, the question stands, what is happening in our skies? It's a question I don't think will ever be answered. It's certainly not answered, in my opinion, just because the Pentagon released a couple of really not that great videos that we don't even know if they were faked by the government. It's always been strange to me why all of the sudden the government chooses to release a couple of videos, almost as if we will all say, well, okay, we can stop looking now, we can stop watching Secureteam, we finally have disclosure. Newsflash, guys, the government has not disclosed anything whatsoever. And to the contrary, we've released tens of thousands of pieces of footage here on this channel alone to the government's 3 pieces of footage, many of which are much more mind-blowing than what the Pentagon released. So, were you guys, any of you in Arizona, when this happened last week? What do you think? Is it just satellites? Is it just weather balloons? Is it just flares? Put your comments down below. And again, guys, I appreciate you all. I have some awesome fans here. Thanks to everyone supporting me currently on Patreon. Your signed stickers are going out in the mail as we speak. And as always, stay tuned, subscribe, share this video, get the word out, and I will see you all back in just a bit.
Bye.